Hello everybody, Speedforce here. I just want to make a quick video today regarding my main build, and that is Johnny with Subzero cameo. So basically, I just wanted to make a video showing some of the dirt I think that this team has that maybe some people don't know about. I'll start off with some of the more basic concepts that people probably do know about, but hopefully in this video I can show some reasons why I think this is a top 3 build for Johnny. But basically, with the first thing that I'm showing here is, before we get started, one thing you have to understand about this build is that it's all about hype build and using hype meter. So with that, you must understand that you have to diversify your hype building. As you can see in the clip, that if I use the same hype taunt over and over again, it actually doesn't build meter as fast. So what you want to do is actually switch up your taunts, and that way, basically, you should only have to taunt twice before you build up your hype gauge all the way. So basically, the first set of combos I'm going to show is different variations of the hype building combos that begin with the freeze towards the beginning of the combo. And the reason why I'm showing this first is kind of the most basic way to get into hype building combos, but also they're still viable, because what it does is, even though they do less damage than if you would start a combo with EX Rising Star, they allow the camo meter to replenish faster, because it's you're calling a Subzero at the beginning of the combo, not the end. Then also it allows you to do the 4 down back 4 hype build taunt that he's doing there when he puts his hands out to his sides. That's important because, like I said, you have to diversify your hype building to try to build up hype meter as fast as you can. Because remember, the whole point is every other touch is to allows you to do a hype combo with this build. So that's going to be a huge advantage, even though the damage scaling on the hype combos is a little bit more because of the freeze. Because of the freezing moves, because freezing moves do more scaling for some reason. And it's going to make you do it more often, so you're constantly going to have hype combos with this build. Okay, so the next set of combos I'm going to show are hype building combos utilizing his charge back 2. Now this is something that I really love about this build, is that it's really unique, and it actually allows Johnny to utilize his charge back 2 consistently. So anytime you're doing one of Johnny's strings, you can convert into EX Rising Star and easily freeze an airborne opponent. You'll actually have enough time, because of the Subzero cameo freeze, because it actually freezes somebody for quite a while, that you can actually do a free taunt, specifically a Shades taunt, the Shade replacement taunt that Johnny Cage does, and then you'll actually be able to get a full charge 2 and actually not drop the combo, which is actually a huge advantage. And the amount of damage that you get off of these back 2 charge combos is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, even for 1 bar or even no meter, you're getting ridiculous damage. Which is something that I'm actually showing in these clips now, is that they lack the hype build. So, sometimes you it's not going to be advantage to hype build, especially if you're trying to just close out a game. Just go for raw damage, and you're not going to need to actually do a hype combo in the future. Just squeezing out that raw damage, you can actually get more if you drop the hype, which I'm showing here. So leaving the hype building out of the combo, you can actually squeeze out a little bit more damage, and it's a little bit beneficial when you're trying to close out a game. One thing you have to understand with these combos are, these are not hype combos. So the whole time that you're building up hype and you're actually getting away with doing hype combos in conjunction with these these combos that don't require hype, that are doing this much damage, is that it pretty much turns Johnny Cage Subzero cameo into a 2-touch character. So the thing about hype combos with this build is that you can actually do meterless hype combo starters, which is a huge deal because of the freeze, right? So the thing about it is, yeah, it does a little bit less damage, but the amount of corner carry that you're getting for a meterless starter is absolutely insane with the hype combo. And the thing is, you can also spend a bar to do another EX Shadow Dash to extend the combo to get more corner carry, squeeze out a little bit more damage. And the thing is, you're not really spinning meter. Now, what I want you to do is pay attention to the bar during this hype combo, and basically you'll see is that even though you're spinning a bar, by the end of the combo you are getting not only just as much meter when you start the combo, you actually get a little bit more. So here we go. I got it zoomed in here for a little bit so you can actually pay attention to the meter. So as you see, I start out with 2 bars, right? A little over 2 bars. Now, by the end of this combo, if you really pay attention, I literally didn't spend meter. Even though I did, obviously. But you know what I'm saying is by the end of the combo, I really didn't waste any meter. And I got a full corner carry. Now, if you want to talk about synergy, also pay attention to the amount of time it takes for the cameo meter to come back. Now, these hype combos that start off with the freeze, remember we're using the freeze at the beginning, allowing for the cameo meter to come all the way back. So we have a full tank of resources for his cameo end after a hype combo is completed. But if you don't care about that, you know, we got combos like this, to where if you just want to squeeze out damage, you know, there's also a little bit more higher damage combo routes that he has available in this build. You're just pretty much going to have to do a charge back 2 like this in the corner or something like that to squeeze out that damage. Now, a really cool thing about this build a lot of people don't know about is that you can actually get multiple hype combos back to back, and the only condition of that being is that you don't start your high combo with the freeze. So what does that mean? So a lot of the time that could be off a standing 4, that could be, you know, micro ducking a grab or high into it, which is a little bit harder, but a more common thing is to punish, you know, a wake up or something like that. But also the fact is that you can also get it started with 2-1-2 in the corner, which is a little bit more common, but regardless, this is something that happens with this build all the time, and it actually gives you a huge advantage. So take a look at this clip here. This is an example of how I constructed these hype combos to allow me to do a hype build during the hype combo itself. So what you want to do is set it up to where the Subzero cameo is coming in right at the end of the star power. So what this allows is enough time to do a taunt because your star power is technically gone during the freeze. Now, what this does is allow for the next opportunity when you open up your opponent, you get another hype combo. So there you go, back-to-back hype combos, which is a huge advantage, not only for the corner carry, but just the sheer amount of damage. And the fact that it allows for your a long time for your cameo to come back, and it also ends in a restand, which is a huge advantage for Johnny Cage's strike throw game in this build, especially in the corner. So the next hype build during a actual hype combo that I'm showing is off of a 2-1-2 in the corner. So this is actually a more common way that I start off the double hype build combo setups. Basically, it's just, you know, the meterless launcher 2-1-2 in the corner, which, you know, you can actually catch people with all the time. But as you can see, is I actually, after the 2-1-2, I actually do standing 3 into the activate the star power. You can actually do a standing 4, but just my opinion, I'm trying to show you like something more that you would consistently hit online. And stand 3 is just easier. Okay, class, the next thing I want to show is cold shoulder ambush tech. Now, for most teams, cold shoulder, you know, isn't as, you know, as viable because it's so expensive. Well, if we're gonna be completely honest, Johnny Cage doesn't need a goddamn cameo to actually play the game. Like, it's nice, it helps him to do his game plan, but at the end of the day, he's not depending on cameo in the neutral to actually, like, play the game. So basically, with cold shoulder, it's going to give you multiple things, right? The cold shoulder ambush tech is going to give Johnny gapless pressure strings into more plus frames, and the plus frames themselves are actually like ridiculously. We're not talking about regular plus frames. We're talking about like roided out plus frames. With most ambush cameos that are plus, Johnny Cage just pretty much gets a guaranteed 4-3 afterwards. No, Johnny Cage gets a majority of his buttons after cold shoulder, and there's no gap. So if you see here, I'm setting Baraka to actually reversal during a gap. As you see, there's nothing to blow up. It's ridiculous. What's also nice about the cold shoulder ambush, cold shoulder technique is that it actually creates it helps with Johnny's pseudo mix. So it's actually an OS on that situation because, you know, Johnny Cage's mix 2-1-2 and 2-1-4. It's reactable, right? And it's fuzzyable. But in clutch situations, you can kind of get away with the mix, and with this, you can actually do it with safety, because if the 4 on 2-1-4 actually lands, and you're calling in the cold shoulder, the ice armor into cold shoulder, then if you're timing it right, it's an OS situation, because if you hit it and land, the cold shoulder won't come out, and you save your half your cameo meter and get a full combo punish for optimal damage. But if it doesn't land and you don't get a hit confirm, the cold shoulder will come out and it gives you safety with the plus frames. So the next thing I want to talk about is actually the Subzero cameo forward throw and how slept on it is. So I don't know if people noticed, but there's a lot of forward throws in this game that don't have a lot of knockdown advantage, and that is not the case with Subzero cameo. Not only does it give you more damage than most cameos, it gives you 130 damage on a forward throw, which is actually going to add up when you put people with in those throw loops with Johnny Cage's amazing strike throw mix. But basically, whenever you throw somebody, it has a lot of knockdown advantage, and it allows Johnny Cage to get a guaranteed dash-in 4-3, which is a huge deal, because if people like to wake up buzz against you, it's going to be a nightmare for them, because you're going to constantly put them in that strike throw, so you're going to have to guess for a throw or 4-3, and once you got a condition, you can start doing other mind games with his plus frames. Now that we have all the ingredients, let's get cooking. So remember, every other touch turns into a hype combo. Every hype combo can lead to a corner carry into a plus on hit restand with his nut punch. Now when you're in that plus on hit nut punch situation, you remember your cameo meter is most likely back. So take a look at the cameo meter like I'm showing here. So it's back. Let's really get cooking, because now your options really expand. Not only do you have true strike throw mix, you also have access to plus frames with no gap. That's huge. That also gives you OS opportunities. So just giving you plus frames, see, that is an option right off the rip. They're ready. You don't have to wait for the cooldown anymore. Right when that nut punch lands, it's ready to go. So here, as you can see, you can go for the 2-1-4, which literally has no gap. You can also go for the OS low mix. See, if I go for it and he blocks, it's okay. I got plus frames. Not only I have safety and plus frames, and there's no gap. I go for it. What's that? The 4 actually connects. I get full opti damage, full combo punish. And what's that? I can also use his forward throw, like I said, which has a lot of knockdown advantage. So we put him in that loop. Now, one thing about this build is that you can't combo off your throw like some other cameos can. But what's nice about it is you can create kind of an Oki situation. So you watch, I'm going to call in the Subzero cameo, Cold Shoulder, during my throw. It does extra damage, and it puts you in an Oki situation where you can get a potential another free throw. And you're going to take like a fourth of their health off of that situation. Or, you know, go into just your strike throw mix off of it. So it's nice little Oki. Now, with this too, I'm also going to show a nice benefit with the Cold Shoulder is that, you know, you can add a little bit extra pressure with your high pressure that we got going on here. Another nice thing about it is, you know, you can always cancel into Cold Shoulder at the end of your, on the third special cancel to kind of keep yourself safe, because, you know, most of the time during hype you got to do something risky. But what's nice about it is you can always just cover it with the Cold Shoulder whenever you think your opponent's about to catch on, just reset neutral, which is always a huge plus. With that situation here, I'm just showing you some setups you can do for like free hype builds, some kind of, you know, some niche things. But this right here, I think a lot of people know about it already, is, you know, a true unblockable setup, which leads to huge damage. The opponent literally can't do anything about this. It's pretty cheap. Just off that back charge 2, you're gonna get some ridiculous damage, and they can't do anything about it because once that fatal blow is charged, it's unblockable.